something in. We're sowing a seed. I want to take you to Genesis chapter 17. And I want to read a few verses there. Genesis 17 verse 2, it says, I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. I want to make note of two things. In verse 2 he says, I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And in verse 6 he says, I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. Now I want us to understand tonight, I know we all understand, that we are in a covenant relationship with God. This issue of prosperity is a covenant issue. And ever since we've come under this ministry, under the influence of Pastor Winston and his teaching, we have experienced tremendous blessing in our personal lives and in the life of my church. There has been tremendous increase spiritually, materially, and financially. I want to share a couple of testimonies because this is a covenant issue. And people say this thing doesn't work in other parts of the world. I want to tell you, I come from not so prosperous nation of the world. It is supposed to be a third world nation, and especially a majority of Christians belong to a lower standard of economic status. And it's not easy for them to live a life of abundance and prosperity. And we've never heard this message before. And even if it was taught, it was opposed. Even today, it's being opposed a lot. We're being criticized because we are one of those churches. We're trying to do exactly what Pastor Winston does over here. I'm learning as much as I can whenever I come here and putting it into me. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I see what is happening here. I say, I got to do this in my church. Because people are getting blessed here, and I want the same blessing upon my people there. You know? And I said, Pastor teaches on sowing and reaping every week. I'm going to do it. Because I find in my nation, I don't know about this place, but I can tell you there are more people suffering with financial problems than with physical sickness in their bodies. But nobody is addressing that. Once in a while, maybe one message in an ear, somebody talks a little bit about giving. But it's not taught in a consistent manner. But ever since I heard Pastor preach, and I began to practice it in my own life, and I began to experience a blessing in my life, I said, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think. I'm going to do what this man of God is doing. Because I know this word works, whether it's America or India. It makes no difference, because my Bible tells me in the covenant that even in the land of famine, God will satisfy them. Hallelujah. So this word has to work. This word has to work no matter where. So I just believe it and I just preach it. There was this guy who called me one night. He said, Pastor, I got to come and see you. It was late in the night, about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And we had just moved our house. And I said, look, it's too late. Is it very urgent? He said, no, it's not all that urgent, but I need to see you. I said, it's not going to be easy for you to find my place. He said, still, it's okay. I want to come and see you. I said, all right, go ahead. I thought it was an emergency. But when he came over, he said, I want to tell you something. You know, I want to thank you that you're teaching on sowing and reaping every week. You don't know how much it is blessing my life. I had a very good job, very good salary. But that was not my desire or the course that I wanted to follow in my life. I had some other dreams in my life. So as you began to teach, I sowed seed and I began to pray and believe God for the job that I desire, for the career that I had in my mind. And you know, he said, God did a miracle. After I sowed the seed, the door opened. I got the job that I desired. And listen to this. The salary I am getting is 3 times of what I was getting before. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! I'm excited. You know, some people in my church got mad and left. I said, I don't care. Because I'm telling my people every Sunday, I say, hey, if people are getting mad, listen to me. This is what the covenant is. This is what the word is. I got to teach the word. I'm not here trying to please nobody. You didn't call me. God called me. And I want my people to be blessed. There's another lady who came into church, and she was from a denominational background. She just got saved, but she was not growing any further in the Lord. But she began to fellowship in this church with us. And a few weeks ago, she came and met my wife, and she said, you know what? I can't tell you how much I'm getting blessed coming over here and listening to the Word. She said, every Sunday you talk about that sowing message. It's doing wonders in my life. I never used to tithe before. I didn't really believe in it. But now I'm convinced. You know, prior to this, by the 5th of the month, all the money would be gone. I had nothing left. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to pay my bills. But I want to tell you, the first time I began to obey God, the very first month I sowed and I returned